What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This fucking lighting sucks. I'm gonna switch around. There we go. There we go. Much better. It's your boy Jose Rodriguez going live back again. And today I want to speak about the difference between men and women. I named this video Men and Women Are Not 50-50. All right. And a quick shout out to the Built from Pain movement, by the way. That's my personal coaching program. That's the program that I run, where I hold men to the highest level of accountability. So let's go ahead and get started. My neighbor's playing music upstairs. That's cool. Men and women are not 50-50. So the reason why I wanted to make this video was just to express my views, my opinion as to what is happening in the world, the misinformation that is taught to men and women on how things work, and overall just my views on men and women and how this could contribute to bettering the fucking world based on these views that I have, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about the differences first between men and women and why they're not 50-50. Rule number one, right? A man cannot get pregnant. We all know that. No matter how hard you try, a man is not going to be able to get pregnant naturally, right? I don't know what kind of shit they have going on these days with these surgeries and what they be doing out there. However, naturally, right, if we're talking about a natural born man, he is 99.9 or 100% less likely or not likely to get pregnant, right? So that's the first thing. Women, on the other hand, they have to be with a baby for 9 months, right, in their womb before the baby's even born. And then the baby's born and she's, that's her son, that's her daughter. And there's a big difference with that, right? Because of the fact that a man doesn't get pregnant, his process is completely different. However, when a woman has sex, we don't suffer or not suffer. I don't want to use the word suffer, but we don't go through the same consequences or have to go through the same consequences as a woman. When a woman has sex, she's exposing herself to pregnancy, which is actually risking her life, right? Because a lot of women, they don't make it. Not all women make it through the procedure of having a baby. Some women actually die through that procedure. So it's a bigger risk on the woman's side to have sex with a man. And the difference between that is that the man has basically a limited amount of fucking sperm, right? So when you look at the two immediately, if that doesn't biologically scream at you that there's a difference between the both of us, then shit, I don't know what else to fucking tell you. However, in and of itself, that imperative creates a big difference for the man and the woman. How is this different? Because of our strategy to live, evolve, and survive is going to be completely different just based on that, right? Because I know that if I have sex with a woman and if she gets pregnant, she goes through that baby, let's say without the laws and everything that's out there, right? Child support, all of these things that are out there to help and protect women, right, from these things. If I were to get a woman pregnant, I don't really have any consequences other than feeling really good about just fucking her or having sex with her or whatever the case is and just getting my nut off, really, as a man. However, her on the other hand, let's say, for example, she happens to get pregnant, she suffers a consequence of, having a baby, right? Now, let's say, for example, if it's a woman that is my woman, right, and I'm intentionally having a baby with her, cool, that's a different story. However, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, she has to have the burden of carrying that baby for 9 months, and I don't. That's the point that I'm trying to make, right? Now, I made a video back in February that got a lot of bullshit, comments from a lot of people that didn't necessarily view the world for what it is, right? Very ignorant people. And the thing is this, right? If I'm going out into the world, right, and I'm either having sexual relationships with other women, right? Number one, I'm going to use protection. That's a fact. Okay. I'm not going to go out here raw dogging all these fucking girls that at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on with them, right? So when it comes down to it, number one, fucking use protection. Okay. Number two, the risk of the woman, again, it goes back to this. It always will go back to this shit. The woman opening her legs to a man, she has to be able to take responsibility of who she's opening her legs to. Because there's a lot of women out here that don't want to take that responsibility. Like a lot of fucking single mothers out here. Why are you a single mother? You are responsible for who you have sex with. So why are you a single mother? Because that was one of the main comments that I was getting. Single mother, you know, I was born with a single mother. She worked hard, this and that, wearing a pride badge as if she wanted to live that life. I would look at any single mother in the eyes and say, look, I know that you may get clapped for this in society and wear a badge as if you're proud to be a single mother. But at the end of the day, you know that that's not what you want. No single mother wants to be a single mother, right? So how does it get to that point? Being irresponsible. That's how it gets to that point. Hot girl summer goes wrong, right? Thinks that she's cool with her friends, goes out and gets a couple drinks, gets drunk. One thing led to another. I don't usually do this. And then you end up where the fuck you end up as a single mother, right? Or you end up getting with a piece of shit, and then that's what ends up happening. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? However, we have to be able to take responsibility for our actions. Now, me as a man, I know that I don't suffer that consequence, right? So if I'm going out into the world and I'm establishing resources, I'm only going to, look, I'll only be able to explain this from the perspective of how I live my life as a man. Because I know that there's a lot of piece of shit men out there and piece of shit women out there. Facts. So I'm going to go about it how I live my fucking life, right? I know for myself that I am a man that is going to and is already acquiring a massive amount of resources abundantly. I know that I'm a man that is putting in the fucking work. I know that I'm an ethical man that lives through certain principles and values in life. I know what I want from life. I know who I'm going to be around. And I know as a man that no woman would be able to outwork me. No woman. I don't give a fuck what it is. I won't let it happen. I won't let it happen. Now, I know physically that the majority of women are going to be softer, are going to be more emotional, right? Are not going to work as hard as I am for the things that I want. I know that for a fact. Now, if I'm over here establishing resources and growing as a man, right? The best thing for a woman to do is to align herself with me for my survival value, because that's literally all she's fucking looking for. Now we're going to get to the real meat and potatoes of the fucking substance of what I'm teaching here. The first thing was just to weed everybody the fuck out. Now we're going to talk about some real shit. Okay. So now if I'm getting with a woman, number one, the first thing that I have to understand is that she's attracted to me for my survival value. I'm attracted to her for her replication value. Okay. I'm more likely to do well off and better off. My gene is more likely to do better off if I am a high value man, which means I acquire an amount of resources and my character develops in a way where I embody masculinity, right? Which is the male energy, masculinity. I know that I'm going to do better off than a man that slacks on getting resources and is acting like a little bitch, like a feminine, right? So because of that reason in and of its own, as I continue to ascend in the ladder, my genetics have a better chance of surviving because I will have more mating options. If you guys didn't know, women are more likely to date up than down. So what ends up happening, right, when these women get careers, this and that, whatever, and they end up establishing their value, look, good for them, right? They're going out, they're doing something, they're making money. At the end of the day, though, their options are going to shrink as they grow in value when it comes to money, monetarily, because women are not going to want to mate with somebody or be with somebody that's going to make less money than them. Well, maybe mate, right, for the genetic benefits of it. But in terms of relationship wise, it's not likely. It's not likely. So when it comes down to it, me as a man, I know right now I'm 23 years old, right? I own 3 businesses. I have an Audi. I have my own apartment, and I'm doing fucking well for my age. Okay. And I'm going to continue to do well for my age. I know that I'm not communicating from the average man's standpoint. because I'm above that shit. However, what I'm letting you guys know is that because of that, in and of itself, I know what I'm worth in the sexual market. So when it comes down to it, look, this is what I'm pushing men to understand in life. Like, they really have to get it together and step it the fuck up in the world. Now, the same thing with women. When a woman, what I'm seeing now too is when a woman is looking at a high value man, right? Like, for example, a woman's looking at what I do, what I got going on, right? My survival percentage in terms of how well off I am, right? On my own, or whatever the case is. When she's looking at me and what I'm capable of, the thing is in today with the United States and what they're preaching and what they're moving with this whole, I don't even want to fucking say the word because then the fucking video wouldn't go up, but the whole feminism shit, right? They are teaching women to be stuck up, right? To not embody their role as a woman, that she could do whatever she wants, and then expect them to be with a man that wants a certain type of woman. And that's the thing. A man of my caliber and how we continue to grow and gather resources and our values are going to keep increasing as a man. We are not going to tolerate a woman like that. We're just not. We want a woman that's going to what? A woman that's going to help us or complement us in whatever it is that we're doing. That's it. If she's not able to complement my life, why the fuck would I want her around? What is she adding to my life? Pussy? Pussy's anywhere. I could pay for that shit if I want to, right? Or I could go anywhere if I want to get that shit. Go to any fucking club, right? Pussy's cheap these days. It's fucking cheap. We all know that shit, right? So why are these women walking around like they got some bomb ass fucking pussy? You know what I mean? Like, no. So that's not going to cut it. So what else do you have to bring to the table, right? Now, that's why I push every single man to evolve and elevate their standards in their life. Because now when they continue to elevate themselves and get to a higher caliber, they don't have to settle for these stuck up bitches. They don't have to. And now what's going to happen to the world? The women will come around and they will start to act more feminine, which is what a man actually appreciates. Soft, caring, loving, submissive, those type of traits, right? No man wants a woman that's going to be masculine, right? No man wants a woman that's going to be threatening, right? Violent, attitude. Those are all the negative red flags that I see from a lot of women running around. No man wants that. Promiscuity from a woman. Are you kidding me? Where the fuck do these people learn these values? It's terrible. Now, men and women don't love the same. That's where I'll take this next. This one is going to be a little bit longer because I love talking about this shit. Okay, now men and women, they don't love the same. A woman loves a man by being exclusive to him. I genuinely believe that if a woman cannot be exclusive to a man, he doesn't love that man, period. If she's going around fucking other dudes while being with one guy, he's using that guy for something, using him for something. Now, we are all being used for some shit, of course. However, manipulating somebody and using them and not having genuine interest in being with them is a different story, right? And that's what that guy's being used. Oh, let me get a ride here. Let me get some pictures there, whatever, and then go fuck some other guy over there. And that's like, I don't know why people stand for that. I don't know why some of these men stand for that shit. It's gross, right? So when it comes down to it, a woman loves a man by being exclusive to him. I know that she will not be okay. If she really loves a man, I know that she will not be okay if, let's say, for example, she gets upset at him and she goes and fucks somebody outside, some random fucking person. Or she gets fucked by some random person, because these girls think that they're out here, oh, well, you did this, so I'm going to go out here and fuck your friend or do this. No, you're not going to fuck my friend. It's not going to happen. But let's say, for example, because my friends aren't into that shit. That would never happen in my line of code of brothers. We're just not about that shit, right? The bitch will get dismissed right away. However, let's say, for example, some shit happens, right? And he's like, oh, well, you did this. Well, I'm going to go to the club, whatever, and I don't know, fuck Pablo the fucking plumber, whatever, right? And then she goes out and does some shit, right? And it's like, yo, like, you're not fucking Pablo the plumber. Pablo the plumber would be fucking you, and Pablo the plumber is a fucking loser. So what the fuck is wrong with you? You get what I mean? So the concept of it is this: like, it's a construct built of anger, built of pride, And it's not logical. That's what I'm drilling in here. It's not logical. It's very emotional. We're in a period of time where it's like everything is so fucking emotional. People don't want to get offended. People can't talk about things that I'm talking about here, right? Without getting offended. Like, it's fucking crazy how people these days, they literally can't have a conversation about these topics. And that's why I think that the world is falling apart because of this very reason. People are not being able to be mature to actually have conversations like this. So going back to the topic, right? A man loves differently, right? I can go out and fuck another girl and completely still be head over heels in love for my woman. I can. And shit, that's how it works. Now, how do I love her? By giving her my resources, protecting her, keeping her safe, elevating her value as a woman. Those are all signs of me demonstrating loyalty to her, taking care of her, right? Because I'm not over here taking care of no fucking hoes. Now that wouldn't be the right thing to do, right? Now, that is the main difference between men and women. Now, it goes back to the main point that I brought up in the first place. Well, how can a man be with a girlfriend or be with his woman and then still be attracted to other women, but then not be in love with these women and still go back home to his woman and take care of his woman and want to love his woman? How is that? How does that work? It goes back to the first thing that I mentioned, which was a man. I can produce infinite amount of fucking sperm, right? That shit just regenerates by the fucking second. A woman, it doesn't work like that. She has cycles, right? And she gets pregnant. She has 9 months, with that baby, whatever. And there's a lot of more maintenance from the side of the woman because she was designed as the vehicle to carry out the baby. She was designed as the vehicle to store the baby, nurture the baby, take care of the baby. And that's why all of these things that I'm talking about, being submissive, nurturing, caring, that's why that's the natural tendencies of a woman. It is. Baby is not born out of a fucking man. It's born out of a woman. Now, the man, for instance, we have a limited amount of fucking sperm. How do you think villages were fucking born back in the fucking days? Men were having baby like fucking crazy. So, and it's the same thing. Like, you see all the kings in ancient texts, they had multiple wives and all of their wives were loyal to that king. Why is it like that? Because it's meant to be like that. As long as a man can take care and provide for their women and keep them safe and protected, there is nothing else fucking matters. Literally nothing else fucking matters. Everything else is just emotional bullshit that people are making up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I would love to have a debate with anybody about this shit and have them try to prove me wrong. It does not make sense, anything besides this, what I'm saying. So that's why men aren't 50-50 with women. If you look outside, who built the roads? This very building that I'm living in right now, who built it? It wasn't a woman, it was a man. Majority of the inventions that were made by men, right? So the man creates and the woman lives in that creation. Now, if I'm a man that is creating consistently and am creating a garden, right, that has such an abundance of resources where I could take care of 1 woman, 2 women, 3 women, whatever the case is, then there is nothing to be upset about. Anything else would be ego created problems that literally makes no fucking sense based on societal constructs of the validation of whatever society made or invented, which is not a part of nature. Why does a lion walk with 4 lionesses by his side? Why? And they're loyal to that lion. Why? We're mammals. That's who we are. So men and women are not 50-50. We're not equal. Now, we are both obviously needed to continue mankind, of course. However, let's get it straight. I, as a man, have a certain responsibility. Me, for example, her cheating on me would be her being with another dude, whether it's texting, going out, whatever the case is. That's her cheating on me. not being exclusive to me. Me cheating on her is me not being able to provide for her, me not being able to take care of her, me not being able to have a plan, me being purposeless, right? Me not providing a better present and future. That's me cheating on her if I were to get in a relationship with her, because I would never want to be with a woman if I can't take care of her. Why the fuck would I want to be with a woman if I can't take care of her? It doesn't make sense to me, right? So that's the difference between a man and a woman. We love different. We see the world different. Why? Because it's what we do to survive. When we're in the jungle and we're out there hunting, the man would go out to hunt and the woman would stay home. The man would be depended on to keep the women safe. Every single time they invaded a village or a tribe or whatever the case is, they would kill the men first, or whichever men survived, they would make them into slaves, right? But if they refused to be slaves, they would kill them, and they would take all their women and mate with their women and have kids with their women. And then the opposite tribe would grow and continue until another tribe comes, fucks them up, and then takes their women. That is literally how it's fucking worked. Now, we're living in different times. I understand that. However, the psychology is still the fucking same. I think that the world right now is headed towards a big wake up with what the fuck is happening. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I don't want to say too much because you know how things get fucking blocked and banned off of YouTube. And I've already said great amount of information. I don't want that shit to happen. However, right now with what's happening, you could see it in the food. You could see it in the information. You could see it in the movies and TV shows and in Disney shows, right? Everything that we were indoctrinated with has been, they are trying to make the man more feminine and they're trying to make the woman more masculine. They clap for the woman that's masculine. They clap for the man that's feminine, and they boo for the man that's masculine, right? I'm going to take care of business. I'm going to grow this and that, whatever. And then they boo the woman that is feminine, submissive. Why the fuck is that? Why are they trying to flip the roles? It's unnatural. Because when you flip anything in nature, it creates chaos. That's why. When you flip anything in nature, it creates chaos. I want you to remember that when you look at certain things. Okay? So, man, I could just keep talking about this shit forever and ever because this is something that I actually do enjoy talking about. However, just to basically close it off, I want to leave it off with this. If you're watching this as a man, right, your main priority in life and your main purpose in life is to establish yourself to be better off than any fucking man around your environment, and to help, people around you, of course, bring everybody up, elevate people, of course. At the same time, I want you to understand that we are living in a world where you gotta fucking step it the fuck up. You're not over here to be lazy and let a woman pick up your slack for you. That's not what we're meant to be. That's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to be a fucking man, a protector, right? Keeping our women and our children safe, our family safe, providing, building, creating. That's what a man is. So let's continue to do that shit. And then at the same time, let's not tolerate the disrespect from these women that think that they can. It's like there's so many women that are in their 30s and 40s that are single, and that some of them are actually pretty, right? Some of them actually look good. However, they're single and it's mainly because of their fucking attitude and how they communicate, right? So when it comes down to it, it's like, guys, number one, don't tolerate that shit. Don't tolerate the attitude. Don't tolerate the disrespect, right? And with the women, be soft, be caring, right? Be submissive to the right man, of course, not to a piece of shit, because that's what I see happening too, right? And then they get pregnant and then they're like, what the fuck? My life is shit. And then once they have a kid and the guy leaves, they can't find another man because she already has a kid from somebody else. And it's just complicated. They're trying to complicate our fucking lives. Let's realize that by doing a buffer or putting in a buffer of allowing the government to take care of you. Oh, don't worry. If he leaves, we'll have the government take care of you. We'll have him pay child support. We'll give you this and that and these benefits. So don't worry. And these buffers are there to make the man weaker because of the same thing that I was talking about before. Take out the men And that's all you need to be able to conquer an empire. So the same thing with what the government is doing, providing for the woman, right? Making the man less in court, right? The woman gets all the benefits. If we could take the man out the picture, we could conquer the fucking United States or the world or whatever the case is. And that's what they're trying to do. So as a man, look, focus on establishing resources, focus on growing your value as a man, okay? And you will have the life that you want to have. You're going to have the options and the choices of being with a woman that's actually going to be submissive, caring, and the type of woman that you want. If you're young and you're not finding that shit now, don't worry about that shit because you're young and you have a lot of fucking time. Again, I'm 23 years old. I'm better than most 23-year-olds, of course. However, compared to the people that, I'm around with, my friends, like, they all inspire me, all of them, because they're all doing fucking great. Get around people that fucking inspire you and establish your value as a man and continue to grow every single fucking day. That way you're going to have the selection of women that you want to go with. Because as your options, like I mentioned before, your options as you continue your value as a man is going to increase. You're going to have more options of women because you as a man are going to be more valuable. Get in shape too. Worry about your physicality. Worry about your health, your intelligence. Not become knowledgeable, do these great things, live a great fucking life. That's what it comes to. Live a great life, okay, with no limitations. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to get married and get kid and have kids and this and that at an early age. No, establish your value first, get your experience first, and then down the line, if you want to do something like that, go ahead and do it. But don't get forced into that shit, right? A man that's doing fucking great in his mid 30s. Right? They look at him and they're like, oh, that guy's a midlife crisis, this and that. No, that's not what's happening. They're trying to fool you. You as a man have to establish your value every single fucking day. And the more valuable you are as a man, the better life you're going to fucking live. That's the end of it. Right? And that's all I got to pretty much fucking say. Okay. So that's the difference between the man or the woman. Right? I talked a lot about that. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback. Like it, share it with a friend, okay? And I would love to talk more about this shit. I actually really, really, really do enjoy talking about this. So if you guys have any specific questions regarding men and women, feel free to also drop it down below. I'll go ahead and cover it. And yeah, there's a lot of shit to talk about, but that's it for today. Peace out, guys.